Good afternoon from the National Service of the Liberia Broadcasting System. Welcome to Newsline, a 30-minute presentation of the most compelling news from Liberia and the rest of the world. Today is Wednesday, the 7th of February, 2024. My name is Fafli Kamara, and I'm presenting. In the headlines, President Joseph Boakai and Vice President Jeremiah Kung come clean in latest drug test by public officials.
We want to assure the Liberians that we are serious. We say we are committed to leading by example, and this is the beginning of it.
Armed Forces of Liberia renews commitment to building a strong civilian relationship and enhancing public trust.
So if you ask people about the military, they will tell you they trust the military.
Central Bank retrieves at least 20 billion of old Liberian dollar banknotes from the market ahead of the March 31 deadline.
The last information we received from the banking department, we'll be able to retrieve up to little over 20 billion of the LS1.
And away from Liberia, cholera outbreak kills 14 soldiers in Southeast Democratic Republic of Congo. These and many more stories, including sports, the weather reports, are coming up. First, Emmanuel Colley and the news bulletin.
President Joseph Boakai and Vice President Jeremiah Kung have tested negative of drugs. Both leaders took the drugs test Wednesday at the Executive Mansion in Monrovia. In an interview shortly after the test, President Joseph Boakai renewed his government's commitment to lead by example.
We want to assure the Liberians that we are serious. We say we are committed to leading by example, and this is the beginning of it. As a matter of fact, tomorrow when I'm coming, I will pass by to declare my absence.
President Boakai, while encouraging others to follow suit, also assured Liberians that he remains prepared to meet the needs and aspirations of all citizens. He said this can be achieved through a dedicated and committed mindset from every Liberian. The president's address or action is in adherence to his recent States of the Nation address, where he asked every government official to take a drug test as part of efforts to address the proliferation of narcotic drugs in Liberia. Meanwhile, several government officials have adhered to the president's mandate to curb the widespread of drugs in the country. They include the Justice Minister Designate Councilor Kopokra, Agriculture Minister Alexander Nuta, and Gender Minister Designate Bemi Horis, among others. Others are Finance Minister Boyman Kamaran, Foreign Minister Designate Sarah Besloyanti, LDA Boss Abraham Kroman, and Health Minister Designate Dr. Louis Koto. They vow to support the president's efforts on the elimination of harmful drugs across the country. Recently, President Joseph Boakai declared drugs as a national health emergency and called for a collective fight to end the menace in Liberia. The Armed Forces of Liberia, the AFL, has renewed its commitment to working towards and working closely with the civilian population to increase public trust and confidence in the army. The AFL said it will continue to design and improve upon existing programs that strengthen the Army-civilian relationship. AFL Assistant Chief of Staff for Health Services Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Cole to the ELBC Super Morning Show Wednesday that personnel of the Army carrying themselves as citizen soldiers has bridged the gap that existed between them and the public.
We try to remain disciplined as a force. We try to tell the population that, yes, this is your armed forces. So if you ask people about the military, they will tell you they trust the military.
Lieutenant Colonel Cole disclosed that activities leading to the 67th Armed Forces Day are being used to intensify engagement with the public, including university students. He thanked the government and partners for the support and assured of an efficient protection of the territorial integrity of Liberia. The Central Bank of Liberia, CBL, says it has retrieved at least 20 billion Liberian dollars of the old family of banknotes from the public. CBL Chair on Currency and Reform Musa Kamara said the exercise is intended to get rid of the old banknotes from the market. Mr. Kamara was speaking Wednesday when he appeared on ELBC Money Matters program.
The SSR is on course. The last information we received from the banking department, we've been able to retrieve up to little over 20 billion of the LS1 and 2 out of the estimated 25.253 billion.
He disclosed that the Central Bank of Liberia is working out modalities to retrieve the remaining 4 billion of the old Liberian dollar banknotes before the end of March. Meanwhile, CBL Director of Banking William Jolope is urging citizens, especially those in possession of the old family of banknotes, to exchange their money before March 31. And the Christian Association of the Blind is rolling out a project to try and harness youth with visual impairment on advocacy mechanism and the use of technology in 3 counties. With support from the Danish Association of the Blind, the project is targeting disabled youth in ICT training and campaign for inclusion. The project manager Susan Arnosin told ELBC Wednesday that initiative will bring together more than 90 visually impaired youths across the 3 counties.
Emmanuel Cody there with the news bulletin. You're listening to Newsline on ELBC Radio. One of the big stories we're following this afternoon: Central Bank retrieves at least 20 billion of Liberian dollar banknotes from the market ahead of March 31 deadline. Well, President Joseph Boakai has assured that he will continue to lead by example and be a true reflection of the change Liberians have yearned for over the years. The Liberian leader was speaking at the Executive Mansion Wednesday shortly after he and Vice President Jeremiah Kong were tested negative of drugs.